Buddy, this is Matt Brower with the Montana Catholic Conference. I hope you're doing well on this Thursday afternoon. We're nearing the end of our third week under our stay-at-home directive here in Montana. It's been a long few weeks, and I know that one of the stresses many people are feeling at this time revolves around their finances. People have lost jobs, they're facing reduced income. And so today I want to give you a few resources, make you aware of some things that are available in terms of relief and financial assistance. So you can find some answers maybe if you've got questions regarding what kind of help is out there. The first thing that I will mention is the state of Montana has a great resource. It's a FAQ document on coronavirus here for the state of Montana. It's got all kinds of information regarding things like quarantine if you've been traveling, but also things on unemployment benefits, restrictions on foreclosures. It's a very comprehensive and helpful document. You can find that by going to covid19.mt.gov. That's covid19.mt.gov. And you'll find that there's a link to frequently asked questions. You can click on that and it'll open up a document. And again, I think you'll find that very helpful. I also want to talk about some other resources available around issues of unemployment, housing, food assistance, healthcare, taxes, and make you aware of some things that you may or may not be aware of and some other resources. Regarding unemployment, well, last month the governor announced emergency rules that would make unemployment benefits more readily accessible for workers that are laid off during this time due to COVID-19, or folks who are, because of that, at home taking care of family members. And these rules have been changed significantly, making unemployment benefits much more accessible for a number of people. So even if you're in a situation where you're self-employed or a situation where you're just facing a reduction in hours and reduced income due to that, you might want to check out what's available in terms of unemployment assistance during this time. And the Montana Department of Labor and Industry has a very helpful website. You can go to dli.mt.gov. You'll find a link there with information both for employers and employees, and it'll kind of take you through the whole system in terms of how this works and your eligibility, what the benefits might look like. And those benefits have been enhanced significantly just in recent weeks. So you might want to take a look at that if you're facing a situation of unemployment. Also regarding rental assistance, limitations on evictions and foreclosures, and preventing the cancellation of utilities. In late March, the governor also issued a directive providing these types of consumer protections. It includes stopping evictions and foreclosures, and as I said, cancellation of utilities. So out of the news release on that, it stated that for the duration of the directive, landlords are prohibited from terminating a lease or refusing to renew or extend the terms of a current lease agreement, at least on a month-to-month basis. It also prohibits late fees or other penalties due to late or non-payment of rent. It prohibits rent increases, except for those that have been previously agreed upon, and prohibits landlords from seeking damages in court due to non-payment of rent. It also stops the involuntary sales of homes, foreclosures, liens placed on residential properties, or late fees charged due to inability to pay mortgage payments on time for the duration of this directive. It also prohibits the suspension of utilities during the emergency, including electricity, gas, internet, sewage disposal, water, and telephone, and prohibits late fees or bills, or for those bills that are due during the time of the directive here. So that's some relief that might be available again if you're facing a difficult financial situation at this time. Federal legislation also provides for additional funding for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program that helps with things like heating homes, weatherization for homes. Might be something you're interested in, and there are additional funds for that. So to apply for those funds, you can call the Human Resource Development Council at 1-833-317-1080, or you can visit lieap.mt.gov. There's also a rental assistance program that was announced by the governor, and the Montana Department of Commerce is set to announce details on eligibility and the application process no later than end of tomorrow, I believe Friday, April the 17th. So if you need some rental assistance, that might be something to look into. You can check the website. That's commerce.mt.gov. That's commerce.mt.gov. Again, they should have something on that by the end of business tomorrow. Regarding health care, last month the governor announced that uninsured Montanans who receive a recommendation from a health care provider will be eligible to receive coverage for COVID-19 testing and treatment. To access that emergency assistance, you can call 406-444-7605, or you can send an email to hhspresumptive@mt.gov. That's hhspresumptive@mt.gov. It was also announced that there's expanded access to telemedicine services during this pandemic. So there's a situation where they're going to eliminate language preventing Medicaid from paying for services if the patient and provider are in the same community. That restriction's being eliminated. And also the requirement that members should establish face-to-face relationships with primary care providers. That's going to be waived. At least that's what the directive, the announcement was saying, because it wouldn't make sense in a pandemic to require that type of face-to-face relationship. Also, copay requirements under the Healthy Montana Kids program, those are being waived, and DPHHS will no longer suspend health coverage due to lack of payment of Medicaid premiums at this time. Regarding food assistance, the CARES Act, that federal legislation, sometimes they've been calling it the stimulus bill here over the last couple weeks, that's allowed some flexibility that's being used to allow SNAP recipients to continue receiving benefits for at least 6 months and waive the 3-month time limit that sometimes applies to some who receive SNAP. Families will not need to reapply during the emergency. Now, more information about SNAP, TANF, health coverage assistance, that can be found at apply, A-P-P-L-Y, apply.mt.gov, or by calling 1-888-706-1535. The state is also making it easier for new moms and those who are caring for young children to access WIC. Now, services are being provided now over the phone, and there's more flexibility in terms of food that you can purchase at stores. So if you need to sign up for WIC or you're interested in finding out more information, you can go to Sign Up WIC, and WIC is W-I-C, signupwic.com, or you can visit wic.mt.gov. That's wic.mt.gov, or call 1-800-433-4298. A real essential resource at all times, but especially at a time like this, is the Montana Food Bank Network. They've got a whole network of food banks around the state, so if you're in need of food, it's a great resource. They have a wonderful website that's mfbn.org, mfbn.org, or you can call them at 406-721-3825 and get you in contact, let you know where there are local resources available. Regarding taxes, I think probably primary two questions people have had regarding taxes. One, they're interested in finding out more about these economic impact payments, these checks from the federal government. $1,200 typically for adults, $500 for those dependent children. Many families, individuals and families, I guess, have started receiving checks already. If you've got need information about those checks, you can go to irs.gov, and there will be a link on there about COVID-19 and tax relief. You can find out more about these payments. Not everyone is eligible. Not everyone will be receiving these funds, but you can go there to find out more about the economic impact payments. Also, federal tax filing deadline for individual income tax filings, typically that's April 15th. That's been moved to July 15th. And the state of Montana, kind of piggybacking on that, has also moved the deadline for filing your individual income tax return, moved that from April 15th to July 15th. Regarding SBA loans, there's been a lot of conversation about these loans to help small businesses, including nonprofits. That was something provided in the recent piece of federal legislation. I had heard just earlier today that those funds for those loans have, for the time being, have run out, but I also heard that negotiations are going on right now looking at renewing that funding. So if you might be interested in one of these loans that at least a portion can be forgiven potentially, you might want to go to the SBA website, sba.gov. Again, it looks like at least a couple of those programs with the forgivable loans that the money has run out for now, but I think there's a good chance that the federal government is going to devote some more money to that program. So it's something that if you might have interest in as a small business owner, take a look at the resources available on the SBA website to find out more. Those who are having a difficult time making mortgage payments, I urge you to check with your lender. There are different types of mortgage relief currently available. Lenders are doing different things. Just be aware, pay close attention to what that relief looks like. Is it a situation where at the end of your period of relief you're going to have to make up that full amount immediately that is owing? Is that going to be spread over a number of months and payments? Are they going to simply extend that obligation, that mortgage obligation at the end of the loan? Find out, but there are different types of relief many lenders are making available. Also with federal student loan payments, my understanding is I believe those federal student loan payments have been suspended through September 30th of this year. You'll want to take a little closer look at that. Talk to your lender, whoever's servicing that, to get more information, but it could be that there's some helpful relief available for the time being with regard to your student loans, also your federal student loans. There's a lot of information on that out there available on the internet. Lastly, I'm talking here today about financial strain and stress, but people are facing all kinds of stress, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual. I would urge you, if you're having a difficult time, whatever that might look like, don't hesitate to reach out to your parish. It's a good place to start. Usually there's someone there, a pastor, a priest, who can get you pointed in the direction of some help. So if you're struggling, reach out to your parish. Don't hesitate. If you know someone who's not tech savvy or who doesn't have access to the internet or a computer, do me a favor, and if you think they'd benefit from this information, pass this along to them. Tell them about some of these resources that are available. Look into that for them and see if you can be a good neighbor, because you probably know family or friends who are struggling financially, and they might not have access to this information the same way you do. So don't hesitate to share this with them. That would be very helpful. Lastly, help and pray for each other. For those of us who may not be struggling at this time, let us remember to always be generous to those in need. This is a time when we are really called to live out that faith that we profess. So be generous of heart. God bless you.